I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman, because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Kate, thank you. Hey, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Monday, fun day, gun day Monday. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the 587th episode of the Political Spotlight. I'm your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. When I first was putting the show together and preparing everything, I thought, oh man, I'm going to be alone tonight because producer Kate was a little under the weather, said she was going to sleep, and she called in tonight, called into the show tonight, and I thought, oh man. And then I got in the studio, I was getting some things ready, and then the very next thing I noticed was something in the studio changed, and I thought, oh, there's a ghost in here. There's a ghost in the studio. And I looked up, and nope, it was Kate. Kate was here, and I'm like, what are you doing here? And she said, well, I did lay down, and I was not going to be here, but both of my phones, Kate is like a drug dealer. Kate has two phones, and both of her phones were ringing off the hook, and so she didn't get to sleep. And so because those people were annoying her and doing whatever's going on, we are lucky enough to get Kate's presence. So she's here with us. You're here with us. And that's all we need. You guys, Kate and me, we got a great team here. We're going to talk about some things. Basically, last night was a pretty heavy show. We crammed a lot in, a lot going on. It was like 2 hours. So tonight's show is going to kind of be pulled back a little bit, not going to be as heavy. We're going to cover a lot of great content. We're going to give you guys a lot of good information. We're going to laugh. We're going to cry. Soylent Green is people. And I'm here, but I'm not happy about it. He better have some good stuff tonight. Is this live? Yes, is this live? It's live, you idiot. God. Poor mom. This is live. Hold on here. Let me see. Why are you asking me that? Why are you asking me if I tried to file one that was wrong?
Because we had talked about this when you had brought it up about, that you had filled it out correctly, and that it was perfect, and nobody.
Hold on. She just walked upstairs and said, "Don't make me come down there." The door opened.
To see if they would accept it, even though it was wrong, or if they would correct you.
Okay, yes.
In the past, we had no, like, kind of, precedent on how the paperwork should be done. Would they take it if it was wrong?
Would they take it without the notary is what we were looking for.
Yeah. Would they take it without the notary? And then if they did, would they challenge it? You were going to have the one that was notarized. If they tried to take it without the notary, you were going to give them, no, this is the right one. But just to see.
It's interesting.
If lookout rules continued this year.
Yeah, it'll be upstairs then. Yeah. No, so you're exactly right, Kate. Say again. Yeah. No, so Kate is right. Nobody else truly knows what we're talking about. We are going to talk about that. That's part of the big news. We've got some big news for everybody. There's a good number of people here. Please, before you sneak in and think, all right, now I don't want to listen to what this idiot's talking about. Before you sneak back out, at least do us a favor, smash that like button, give us a like, and let us know you were here. I guess hit the unlike if you want. You know what? We don't get many unlikes, once or twice, but like you would think, the way that people like to hate on me and some of the content that we would get ratioed from time to time, but that doesn't happen. We've got a question. How much does it cost to file? It does not cost anything to file. You do not have to pay to file to run for office. That would be wildly gross. So it costs $0. Hit that like button and we'll get into the show. So we got a couple of things that we're going to talk about tonight. Thank you, Admiral Eric. We got a couple things to talk about that'll be interesting. We're going to talk about some local stuff, and we're going to talk about some state stuff, and specifically some things that you all need to hear wherever you are about various laws that they're hoping to make law, bills that they've put forward that they're hoping to turn into state law. And we need to talk about some of it good, some of it bad. Not much of it's good. Most of it's bad. Some of it's nonsensical. So we're going to be talking about all of that. And we're going to start off with the good news. And I'm going to use this to kind of help a few other people. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I promised, as I've stated, as I let everybody know a couple weeks ago, it's been a minute. I've been talking about this. I guess I should have just kept this to myself and not told anybody until it actually happened, but I did, ladies and gentlemen, fill out this document. And for those of you that want to know, in order to run solely for delegate, and that means if you're out there in the state of Indiana and you want to run for delegate, just delegate, this is not running for county council. It's not running for prosecutor. It's not running for state representative. If you want to run for delegate on the Republican side or the Democratic side, you must go to your county clerk's office and request a CAN 37, or better yet, to make the process go smoother, You can go to your Google machine. Matter of fact, I'm going to do this here. This will be a learning tool for everyone, so everyone can see how this goes. It's very easy. People should know this. Okay. We're going to stream this. I don't know if that's good or bad. Yeah, right. That's the thing. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Mom. Mother. So you go here to Google. Thank you, Jeff. And we're going to talk a little bit about what this is and what goes on, because there's some people that are not really understanding. Okay. Yes, Jack. Someone who's never voted ever and hates all voting and thinks it's wild. A complete anarchist, and he's finally going to vote for little old me for his first time ever. I love it, Jack. Voting all the way from Colorado or wherever it is that he lives. I love it. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's what you do. You go to your Google machine. This is real simple. You go to this white bar and you type in Can 37 Indiana. That's all you do. You type in Can 37 Indiana. And then it will pull this up. This very first entry. It'll say in.gov Can 37. And you click on it. Okay. And almost instantly it will bing, and it will open up a document that you, ladies and gentlemen, can download, which will allow you. We gotta change this now. It will allow you to download the form. Ooh, crazy. Okay, got it. Let's get that out of here. Okay, I want to get that off the screen there. You will then open up the download. Share screen. Window. Okay. Share. Hide. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Here's your form. Right there on the screen it is. And depending on your computer, hello there, collective. There you can go. And depending on how you've downloaded it and what your computer is, you can type straight away. If Willie's here, I don't know if Willie's watching, this is what you would do, Willie. So for those in Delaware County, up there at the very top, you would type in, and I do everything in capital, Delaware. Okay, because that's what it says. State of Indiana, County of Delaware. Don't pull an Andrew Pop filling out paperwork for Troy Ingram and write in County of Peru or whatever. Okay, then you go, I state your name, and then you write in, obviously state your name. No, you write in your name. Okay, so whatever your legal name is, whatever you want your name to be on the ballot. I, Kristopher H, bobblehead. Okay. And then the undersigned certify the following. I am a registered voter of precinct, and then you need to know your precinct. If you need help with that, I can help you, or I can tell you how to do it. Okay. I'm a voter of precinct 60 in the township of, and you need to know your township. Of course, mine is Hamilton. Okay. Really good. There we go. And then it says, or ward if applicable. Okay. And that is not applicable. And I don't like leaving any blanks. So then I come in here and I write N/A for not applicable. of the city or town of, and this is where people disagree with me. It doesn't kick you off. It doesn't matter. My address is Muncie. Mine is Delaware County. Muncie's the county seat. So I go ahead and I write Muncie in there. Some people leave it blank. I wrote Muncie in there. You do as you see fit. Okay. I write MUNCIE, county of, okay. And you go in here and you write Delaware. I reside in the blank congressional district. And then, okay, if you're in Delaware, all of Delaware County is the 5th congressional district. Okay. So, you write that you're in 5. If you're in Madison County, you're in 5. If you're in not Wayne County, if you're in Grant County, you're in 5. It's those, there's like 5 or 6 counties right there. Okay. If you're in Randolph County, if you're in the southern half of Randolph County, you're in 6. If you're in the upper half of Randolph County, you're in 3. So you need to find that out. Again, we can help you with that. All right. So I'm in the 5th congressional district. Okay. So we write that in there. Now, this is where it's very, 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 very important. Okay. Now, this number 3 says, I request that my name be placed on the May 5th, 2026 primary ballot of the party with which I am affiliated. Check 1. And if you're a Democrat, you're going to check Democrat, and it puts a little square in there, colors it. If you're Republican, you're going to check Republican. If you are Libertarian, you don't fill one of these out. You're not filling one of these out. This has nothing to do with the Libertarian Party because this is all party-related stuff, okay? So I checked the Republican ballot. Most of you will probably check the Republican ballot, okay? But if you're a Democrat, check Democrat. If you're a Republican, check Republican. And if you want to know how you know what you are voting-wise, you can contact us. We can talk. In order to check Republican, you have to have voted in Republican primaries in the last 2 Republican primaries, or your last 2 votes have to have been a Republican in the May primary. If you voted once Democrat, once Republican, or you've never voted before, you then have to talk to your party chairman to get the okay. So keep that in mind, okay? So you check one of the Democrat or Republican, only check one. And then down here, okay, you can check you can check if you check Democrat, okay? Let's say you've checked Democrat. The Democrats this year are electing their precinct committee people. The Republicans did it 2 years ago, and we'll do it again in 2028. But if you're a Republican, nothing is up for precinct committee person. So there's nothing you can do. But if you're a Democrat, you could possibly be running for precinct committee person. Now, I want to tell people this because people don't know this. You in the state of Indiana could run for state representative. You could run for delegate and precinct committee person. So your name could appear on the ballot in 3 different places. You could run for precinct committee person as a Democrat, and that's it. You could run for delegate, and that's it. You could run for county council, and that's it. Or you could run for any 2 or all 3 of them. It's up to you. But if you run for more than one, you have to fill out duplicate paper. You can't put them both on the same paper. Okay? So Democrats, you could be doing delegate or precinct committee person. Republicans only delegate. So I check back here to the Republican box. I leave the precinct committee thing blank, and I check state convention delegate at large or district. Then number 4 says, I comply with all requirements under the laws of the state of Indiana and any candidate requirements set forth by my party rules to be a candidate for this office. Okay, that's what we talked about. Then you come down here to number 5. My complete residence address is, and you put in your residence address, okay, whatever that is. You write your city and your zip code. And then if your mailing address and your residential address is the same, you write same, S-A-M-E. You come over here to city and write S-A-M-E. And in your zip code, you write S-A-M-E. And that's what you do. Now, this bottom part has confused people since the beginning of time, or at least since they started doing it this way. This is how you want your name to appear on the ballot. Okay, so your first designation. This can be your candidate's legal given name. So let's say your name, my father's legal given name was Herbert Dwayne Bilbrey. So if my dad wanted to run as Herbert D. Bilbrey, my dad would write Herbert in the first box. Okay. Then in the second box, he would write his initial, D. And in the third box, he would write Bilbrey. The fourth box, you would leave blank, and I always fill it in with lines, right, like that. And in the oops, I don't like those two there. Then in the suffix line, he wasn't a junior, he wasn't a second, none of that, okay? And you can't put in your titles, PhD, MD, nothing like that. So then you would just put in lines there. And so he would be on the ballot as Herbert D. Bilbrey. However, my dad didn't go by Herbert. My dad didn't go. When he signed his name legally, he signed H. Dwayne Bilbrey is what my dad would sign. My dad signed his name H. Dwayne. I always thought that was so cool. Having a middle like that seems mysterious. H. Dwayne Bilbrey. Okay, so your first designation, let's say my dad wanted to appear on the ballot the way he legally signed his name. He could do that. He would type in H. In the second designation, he would write in Dwayne. Okay. And yes, my dad was white. And then in the third designation, he was, it's just very truthful. I promise. And in the third designation, you put in Pilbrey. Okay. And that's what his name would be legally, H. Dwayne Bilbrey. This fouls people up. Don't let it be difficult. If, let's say, for example, you're a boy named Sue, okay? And let's say your name is Sue Cash, okay? No middle initial. Just say you're Sue Cash. But you don't like your first name, okay? And let's say instead of Sue, you went by Bud. Your nickname is Bud because you wanted to be a man and your name is Bud. All your friends, everybody you know has always called you Bud because you didn't like the name Sue. Okay? So you can use your nickname. Okay? You can put a candidate nickname here. So you could go, you would write Sue Cash. Watermelon Jim. Absolutely. You would write up here in your top thing. Oops, I can't get rid of it. Okay. you would write your legal name, Sue Cash. But down here, you would write Bud. Okay. Then in the second designation, the candidate's legal name, legal middle name, then the initial of the candidate's legal middle name, the candidate's nickname, or the candidate's legal surname. Okay. So then in the second designation, you would just write Cash. So you would be Bud Cash. Or let's say your name was Sue Cash, but everybody knew you as Sue Bud Cash. You would write Sue. In the second designation, you would write your nickname, Bud. And then in the third designation, you would write Cash. So there's a couple of different ways. Just read down through there. It's not hard. If your name is simple, if you're John Smith, it's very simple. If you don't use your middle, if you're not pretentious and you don't use your middle initial like I do, and you're just John Smith, you just write John Smith. Okay. It's very, 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 very simple. All right. If you're John Smith and you're running for office, okay, yes, right. That's exactly right. Stumblefoot. It's crazy. It's crazy. So if your name is John Smith, you would write John. And in the second one, you would write Smith. And you're done. You take that in just like that. Then, okay, that. Now, I want to talk about this second part because this is also tricky. And this is what Kate was talking about. So 2 years ago, we had a candidate who's currently an elected public servant who didn't do this thing the right way. And I thought that would be a big deal. But apparently it wasn't. So our joke was, well, do we need to do this, or can I mess this up the same way that candidate did? And will it be okay? So today, before I went there, I resemble that. Yeah, right. Before I went there, I called and I said, talk to me about the notary. I said, I recall from a couple years ago that you guys have the ability to do what needs to happen back here. And the lady I talked to said yes, but it would be better if you got it notarized. And I said, well, I just don't have time to do that. So if you can get it notarized, go in and get it notarized. But I'm letting you know, if you don't get it notarized, and I did not get mine notarized, okay, you can see right there, it's blank, okay. What I did, ladies and gentlemen, is I went in with it blank and I went in with it blank, and the people in the clerk's office file stamped there, and they wrote their name and information in there, and everything is legal. Everything's good to go, and everything's wonderful. So there was no issue. So the clerk's office can and will, and they have to do it for you. There's no choice. Okay? They have to do that. Now, what's interesting here is when Kate asked me if I had to fill it out, a second, like if I needed to do it more than once, I was shocked that she knew that. I forgot all about her and my talk. But I did have to, what I took in there was this exact thing where I had typed it out, and so it looked really nice and neat. The only difference is I'm going to show you what I did. So there was no confusion. And so there was nothing that could happen weird. Okay. I took my form in there and I had marked out the Democrat portion to where nothing could be checked and Democrat wasn't even seen on there. And I had marked out precinct committee person. And when I went up there, the lady said, "Oh, you're not supposed to scratch anything out." And I said, "I've never heard that before. I don't, that's not a law. That's not a rule." She's like, "Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know." And I was like, "Get it notarized where? What are you talking about? Explain to me what you're saying. Explain to me what you're saying." Because here, I'm going to tell you, and I can tell you, John, we went through this. Okay. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. So, I get what you're saying, and that's perfect. That's fine. And you're right. When you're running for state office, you just let them do it. He is right. I guess I'm thinking more for local office. You are right on that. The filing for state office is a little bit different, and I'll talk about that in a second. I guess right now I'm just talking about local for local office. But they do have the power to do this at the clerk's office. And they should do it. And that's really how it should be. And what he's talking about is for state. And I'll talk about that here in just a second. I see what you're saying. Anyways, going back to this, she was like, "Well, do you want to redo the form or do you want to just chance it?" And I was like, "Man, I don't know. You know, I was like, this is not gonna mess me up, but whatever." So I went ahead and I just filled out a new one. And so that's why this is the actual filing. This here is my official filing. I wrote it out by hand in the office. Took me 10 seconds. I wrote it all out there. And I wrote everything out there on the back. And they file stamped it. Delaware County Clerk, 12th day of January, whatever her name is, Deputy Clerk. Okay. And see, because here's what's weird when you say, because I don't know if it's the same, but on the local forms, it says notary public or other official administering oath according to Indiana Code 334297. So maybe it's different on the state paperwork, but for the local paperwork, it does give you an either or down here. So I mean, that's, and I'm just really, this is just talking about the local stuff. So this is for delegate and or precinct committee person. Now, if you're going to run for an office like county council, county recorder, something like that, then your paperwork is a little bit more involved. You fill out more things than this. If you're interested in doing that, please contact. We will help you. We will get you what you need to get. We will take care of you. And there's a lot of people that do this thing where they want to file at the end of the filing period. And there are pros and cons to both. I've always said, if you're a serious candidate, this is what I said like in the past when I was younger. If you're a serious candidate, have Jack, if you're a serious candidate, have your paperwork ready. Have everything good, ready to rock and roll. And be at the clerk's office when they open on the very first day of filing. Because that sets the message. That sets the tone. We're here. This is not a joke. We're running, a serious campaign. Bam. Okay. And there's pros and cons to that and different things to think about. Same thing with filing at the end. My issue is if you file this at the end, it gives you no room for mistakes. If you file this, like I filed this early and I brought it home and I just throw it off, and then I looked at it tomorrow and I noticed there was an error on it, I could go in and withdraw this paperwork and resubmit it and be good. Because what people don't realize is, as of noon, when the filing period is over on noon on February the 6th, Friday, February 6th, from that period through to the next week, people can challenge you. The party chairman can challenge you. Citizens that have standing can challenge you. And so if you've got errors, that could be reason for them to withdraw you from consideration. And you don't want that to happen. Okay. Whoops. Pulled my ear out. Nicole, so if you need help with that, if you need the documentation, I do think that Catherine has posted that. But if you just want to, what am I doing here? Okay. Okay. Oh, I see what's going on. Let me get this closed down here. If you need help with that, with filing paperwork, the best thing to do. Okay, yeah. If she can tag you, that would be beneficial. Or I can send you the paperwork at the end of this. I can send you the links. So that's that. Okay. So now while I was there, I picked up a couple of good things. Okay. And this is good for people. So this first election, okay. This first election, what do you mean? Oh, well, I don't know who gave her the pew-pew, but I will tell you, God gave her the right to carry it. God. Okay. While I was in the clerk's office, I picked up this document. Okay. And this is a good document that we're going to go over lots. Okay. We're going to go over this lots of different times. This is the voter center locations. Now, for the very first time, Delaware County citizens are going to be able to go to voter center locations. Things are going to be different. In the past, ladies and gentlemen, those of us in Delaware County have been used to having around 75, 78 precincts, and you would have to go to your precinct that you lived in the area. So I lived at Hamilton Township, lived in precinct 60, and precinct 60 people voted at the Hamilton Township Volunteer Fire Department. We would go in there and vote, and that was it. This year, the fire department's not there, and you don't have to go to your precinct place. You can get up, and if you work on the south side of town and your polling place is north of your home, you can drive to a polling vote center down by your work and you can go there. You give them your ID, you tell them your precinct, and they let you vote your ballot wherever you are, and that's really cool. And so these are good. I'm going to put these up so people can see them. It's really good. Just really quickly to go through this. There are 26 of them. Southside Middle School on 26th Street, Avondale United Methodist Church on West 10th, Boys and Girls Club on South Madison, Glad Tidings and South Burlington, Friends Memorial Church, West Adams, Delaware County Fairgrounds on North Wheeling, the Roy C. Bewley Rec Center on North Penn, Union Chapel Ministries on North Broadway, Lutheran Church of the Cross on North Wheeling, Northside Church of God on North Tillotson, Westminster Village on West Bethel, First Brethren Church, South Morrison Road, St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church, West Moore Road. Hamilton Township Fire Department is on here. Precinct Voting Center 14. North State Road 3, Gaston Main Street Church, North Main Street in Gaston, Eaton Community Building in Eaton, Albany Fire Station, East State Street in Albany, Delaware County Highway Garage, East Jackson, Muncie, Harris Chapel in South County Road. What is this? South County Road 544 East, Liberty Baptist and South Cowan, Muncie, South Cowan Road, Muncie, University Christian Church, North Nebo, Muncie, Munciana Real Estate, Yorktown YMCA, 200 South County Road, 600 West Yorktown, New Life Presbyterian, West River Road, Yorktown, Daleville Fire Department, West Daleville Road, Daleville, TRC Head Start, East Hooiser, Muncie, and the First Presbyterian Church, West Riverside Avenue, Muncie. And so this is very, very big. Get this. I think this is going to be a good thing for the citizens. I'm hoping that it goes off without a hitch, and it shouldn't be too bad. But time will tell. Okay, it'll be very interesting. What I'm hoping doesn't happen is, I'm hoping people don't end up. I'm hoping that people don't end up going to their old polling place and nothing being there, and them thinking, "Uh-oh, what in the hell?" And then having to go to work or whatever, and just not voting because they get confused. That's why we really need to get the message out. There's vote centers. So, Alva, that's 26 vote centers down from 78 because they had one at every one of our precinct committee places. What they've done is, instead of having so many covering areas really close to each other, they've condensed them, and they have more voting machines in each of the centers. So that's what they're doing there. And the you have until from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to vote, and that's what's going on there. Okay, something else, and we'll spend a lot of time going over this over the next couple months, and we'll make sure that everybody knows, because I really, really want to get the word out. I picked up this form while I was there, and I'm going to get, this is one of the forms I'm going to get like at the end of each week, and it tells who's filed for what. Okay. And it's pretty standard for this early on. I mean, we're really pretty early. Okay. The May primary election is scheduled for Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. Less people, less corruption. opportunities. It's not less people. It's the same amount of people working these areas because it's the same amount of things. It's just less buildings. But yeah. Okay. So it starts from federal and it goes down. So the very first name on the sheet, it's going to go from Republican to Democrat. Okay. So we start off with the Republican ticket. And this is United States Representative from District 5. And the very first name on our list is one of our viewers right here. The Inspector Gadget, or what's his name? Hold on. The Collective Intellectual, Scott King. He's on this list. Scott King, Republican, running for United States Representative 5th District. Okay. And he filed on January 9th, 2026. His current opponent right now is Victoria Spartz, who's the incumbent, and she also filed on the 9th. So that's that. Next up is State Senator Scott Alexander. He does not have a challenger. Then we get to State Representative, and we've got John Prescott, J.D. Prescott, District 33, Elizabeth Roway, District 35. Neither one of those have primary challengers. We have Judge of the Circuit Court. Zach Craig is running as a Republican for Circuit Court 4. Ben Freeman is running as a Republican in Circuit Court 5. Eric Hoffman is running unchallenged so far as a Republican in the prosecutor's office. Sharon McShirley is running as a Republican for the Delaware County Circuit Court clerk. No challenger. Okay, so then we get down to County Auditor Ed Carroll, Republican, running for re-election. County Recorder is James D. Carmichael, Republican. He's been the assessor for like 1,000 billion years, and he's now going to be running. I've heard it said that he wants to be able to cool things down and slow things down, so he's going to run for Recorder. I've always liked Carmichael, but that's something that I'm hearing Tim Overton is saying, and that's a piss poor way to say it. It's like, he wants to do less, so he's going to run for Recorder. Okay, well, that's somebody I don't want to vote for then. Just weird. Okay. All right, moving on. Delaware County Sheriff Jeff Stanley has filed for that, of course, as we knew he would. County Assessor, and we've got two people, Sherry Chafin as a Republican and Adam Kovault as a Republican. Stand by. Hold on a second. Let me see what we've got. Okay. Sherry Chafin, Adam Kovault, Republicans, both running for assessor. That then takes us to the county commissioner, and we've got two Republican candidates running for county commissioner. We've got Donald Chambers Jr. running for Delaware County Commissioner 3. We've got Matt Kantz as a Republican running for Delaware County Commissioner 3. So there is going to be a primary challenge there. We've got 3 candidates running. William Hughes running for Delaware County Council District 2. Tony Skinner running for Matt Kance's seat, District 3, since Kance is running for commissioner. And then Jim Mokel, Republican, running for Delaware County District 4. Now, I look for there to definitely be more people filling out there in the county council seat. Yeah, look, just because these people are unopposed right now just means people haven't filed necessarily yet. People have until noon on February 6th to file. So this document changes a couple times a day. So yeah, we've got a long time to go. Okay. Moving on. Township trustee, Hamilton Township trustee, Ralph Flowers. Township board member of Hamilton Township, David Hinkle. Town clerk, treasurer, Yorktown, Lance Turner. Okay, and then we get to the convention delegates. And in District 1, we've got Ed Carroll, Bill Walters. In District 2, we've got Adam Kovolt, Bradley Polk. And in District 3, we've got Christopher Bilbrey, David Hanauer, and Matt Kance. Okay. So that's that. All right. On the Democrat side of things, for the 5th district, we've got Todd Shelton. We've got Andrew Dales running running for District 26. For state representative for 33, we've got John Bartlett. For District 34, we've got Sarah Gullion. And for District 35, we've got Phil Gift. Yeah. For judge of the circuit court, District Circuit Court 5, we've got Marisol Driscoll. And I know there's other people that they just not filed yet. For convention delegate, we've got District 4, Terry Lightning. District 5, we've got Nancy Carlson. For District 14, we've got Kevin Coley. For District 19, we've got I don't know what these numbers are, but Democrats do something different apparently. Lisa Dykoff. District 26, Michael Dural. District 31, Brenda Kirkality. District 36 is Judy Merritt. And then we've got precinct committee persons, Julie Mason, Teresa Klingsmith Haynes, Paula Pardzina, Andrew Dale, Gerald Waite, Nancy Carlson, Sue Arrington, Kevin Cooley, and Tracy Pittenger. And then lastly, precinct committee person, Randy Richter, Christy Knapp, Lisa Dykoff, Brenda Kirkality, I don't know, Kirkaldy, I don't know, Teresa Colglazer. And so those are your candidates in Delaware County and Delaware County related areas. So then after you file, okay, you get this, they give you this, and this proves that you have filed. Hold on to this paper. Put it in a filing cabinet. Do something. Absolutely do something with this. Do not leave without them giving you one of these. And if they are busy, tell them that's okay. You will wait. Do not leave without getting one of these. Hello, Drew. Hello, Catherine. So, yes, do not leave without getting this, because you don't want them to be like, well, we never got their filing, and, we don't know what happened. Make sure that you get one of these. This says County Election Board candidacy filing confirmation for 2026. Delaware County Circuit Court Clerk certifies that on January 12th, 2026, Kristopher H. Bilbrey filed, or an individual filed on this candidate's behalf for, and then it's got one of these things: declaration of candidacy, a certificate of nomination by convention, a certificate of nomination by petition, a certificate of selection to fill a ballot vacancy, or a declaration of intent to be a write-in candidate for nomination or election to the office of Delaware County Republican Convention Delegate, District 3, as a candidate of the Republican Party for the election to be held on May 5th, 2026. Rick Spangler, have this, keep this. Do not let this go. Okay? Period. So there's that. So that's that. And that will the number of candidates will change. They'll keep changing between now and the end, and we'll just have to keep waiting and see what goes on. It will be interesting. I will also be monitoring what's going on in Randolph County, what's going on in Henry County, what's going on in Madison County with these candidates and all of that. As Catherine come bounding in, what was the movie where they're like, what was it? Oh, it's The Big Lebowski. When Walter's talking about Donnie, he's like, you're like a child who just wanders in to the middle of a movie. That's Catherine. She just comes in and she's like, wait, what are we doing? What are we talking about? Are we talking about this? No, we're not talking about this. It's got nothing to do with this. But we will now talk about it because Catherine came wandering in, yelling it from the rooftop. It'll be interesting to see what happens during this period, because the Democrat Party chairperson over in Madison County threw in the towel here recently. Threw it in, and they are... did you fall and hit your head? Devin Scroggins withdrew from being the party chairman over there. He's only been party chairman since when? When did he take over? Did he take over in March of last year? He took over in March of last year. So he's not even made it an entire year. He did not last a year. And as Catherine's saying, the reason that he didn't make it a year, the reason he's throwing in the towel, is because he doesn't have the stomach for it. He doesn't have the guts for it. He doesn't have the balls for it. He's weak-minded, politically speaking. He might be a very nice human being. He might be a wonderful person. He's just weak-minded when it comes to politics. He got in trouble. That's exactly right. A very well good possibility. Well, I think a lot of us were over there and making his life hard. It seems like everybody was mad at him. The Republicans were mad at him. The Democrats were mad at him. His own like idols, the people that he looked up to, they were all mad at him, and he just didn't have the wherewithal to hold on to what was happening and do the right thing. So it is what it is. Okay. Now, moving on from that, I want to tell you guys a couple follow-ups, a couple things that we're following up on. So I did prepare my record requests for Henry County to get the documents and everything pertaining to that bizarro stop and arrest from Saturday. Okay. Today's the 12th, 11th, so it was the 10th, Saturday the 10th. And hopefully I will have a correspondence back from their legal department. Okay. I will have that response hopefully in the next couple of days. I know they're going to try to drag their feet on this, but I'm going to be pushing them every step of the way because we want all of this information as soon as possible. I'm hearing from police officers. I'm hearing from sheriff's deputies. I'm hearing from people in the community that would be in the circles that Sproles runs in, that he's just absolutely losing his mind. Because he's got everything going on. He's got whatever's going on in his personal life with the relationship. He's got whatever's going on with his other personal relationship. He's got everything going on from when he flipped over the handlebars or whatever's happening there. He's losing all of these lawsuits, these tort claims. They're all piling in on his head. He now has to decide if he's going to run for office a second time for another 4 years. He's got a lot of people that are looking up to him and wondering what it is that he's doing, what they're supposed to be doing. He now has boys and girls that are on the department that are running around and playing Sproles Jr. and doing what he does. And it shows like they're apparently not good at it, because even when he would do it, a couple days might happen between when it happened and when we found out about it. This happened at 10:30 and bang, I was aware of what was going on like an hour later. So I know all of this stuff has to be wearing on him, and I want to personally speak out and say, John, Kate, I do want to say that. I also want to say, look, I don't like you. Yes, C time. I do not like you. I don't think that you're a good sheriff. I don't think that you're a good person. You're probably definitely questionable at being a husband. I'm not going to talk about your parenting. That's low blow in my opinion. But I got a lot of questions about you as just an individual, you as a human. That being said, I don't want or wish anything bad for you. And I just don't know that you have it. The county definitely doesn't have it for another 4 years. You will earn a little bit of respect in my opinion, in my book. I will give you probably more than a little bit of respect if you ride this last year out and you don't file to run for re-election. If you say, I'm going to do my 1 year and that's it, you will earn some respect in my book. So I know you don't care. I know you don't care about what I'm thinking here, but I'm just letting you know you could end it all. No. That sounded horrible. That's not what I mean. Like, Jesus. I do not mean that. Let me put a quick disclaimer up. I mean, That sounds horrible. I'm not even joking. Like, that just came out. I meant you could end all the craziness by not running for re-election. You could go into the private sector. You could build your churches and you could do those things. Yeah. And basically not be selfish, think for himself. And, you could say you tried. Look, that would be the respectful thing to do. That would be the respectful thing to do. So, time will tell. We've got until the 6th at noon. So, we'll see what happens there. I've heard Beeman already has a challenger, but I don't know how. I don't know if it's a true challenger or not. Maybe the people from Madison County can tell me if that's a true, if the person is a true challenger or not. Lots of people. What was the guy that used to run for sheriff in Randolph County, Kate? Mouth it again. I can't.
Mr. Hiram Messerschmidt.
Oh, yes. Hiram Messerschmidt. Yes, that's right.
Who ran as a Republican and a Demo-rat.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Messerschmidt.
Yes. Hiram, whatever his last name is. Let me tell you.
Messerschmidt.
Is it Messerschmidt or Smith? The first one? Okay. Messerschmidt came into the candidate interview like 2 or 3 times ago wearing 2 different types of shoes. Like, literally put on 2 different shoes. Said the way that he would run the sheriff's department would be to bring in the KKK. We needed to employ the tactics of the KKK. I think if he would have been able to talk, had a casket in his front yard. I think if he would have been able to talk long enough, we would have got to the point where he would have been discussing Nazi tactics. He was very, very questionable. Art is termed out. Art's ran his 2 terms and he's done. I have heard in Randolph County that Jordan Alfrey is running for sheriff. I have heard that there is a possibility that okay, Peter Ball's filed too. That's interesting. What are you talking? Wait, you people. Art can't run again. He's out. He's done 2 terms. He's done. He can't run at least this year. He would have to step out, and he will never run again. I have heard there's a possibility that I can't think of his name. Damn it. The guy that's always just been sheriff for. Oh, yeah. Man, it went out my mind. What did you say it was?
Hendrickson.
Oh, yes.
Now, what I had heard was that if he ran, no one else was going to run.
Okay.
So with Puderbaugh and Alfrey running, I think that means that Hendricks has decided not to. Don't quote me on that. That could be inaccurate. They may have just decided, screw it, I'm running too. My chances are just as good as his.
Yeah, he needs to be done. Ken needs to go away.
But I was talking to Art about running for something else.
Yeah.
And he said he's ready to retire. So.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I tried doing that too.
But
what you're talking about.
But as I said, I had heard that if he was running, no one else would be filing. So.
Misty Barton, first time listener. I thought this was a podcast over Delaware County. LOL. It's Misty. Well, first of all, hello, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I see you're on Facebook, and we love people listening however they can listen. If you have the ability to listen from YouTube, you would have a better experience there because you would get to interact with more people that are listening. But if you can't, or you would prefer Facebook, that's perfectly fine. This is a political commentary program where we talk about politics on the local, state, and national level. So we talk about local issues, state issues, and national issues with a focus, and the primary focus on local and state. And when I mean local, I'm from Muncie, born and raised in Muncie in Delaware County. That's my primary focus. However, we also focus basically on East Central Indiana. So we have a lot of people that listen from Madison County, a lot of people that listen from Randolph County, from Jay County, from Henry County. So we kind of bounce back and forth between all of those. We are right now in the election process. I don't know if you just got in here, but we've been going for an hour and 12 minutes, and we were talking about some Muncie and Delaware County stuff at the beginning of the show. And now we're just talking about different people running from all over. We're getting ready to talk about some state issue stuff that definitely affects us here in Muncie. So welcome. I hope that you will choose to tune in. We're here live 5 nights a week: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We take off Friday and Saturday, and that's that. So yeah. We will find out what goes on with these all of these different filings. We still have, a month. We still have, it's today's, all of this week, all of next week. We've got basically 4 weeks. We've got about 4 weeks. So filing deadline again ends at noon on Friday the 6th. And that's that. Okay. And we'll follow it for that period. All right. So let's talk about these issues at the state level, some things that I wanted to focus on and I wanted to talk about. So, wait. First off, before we do that, I know that I had to have made the Republican Party chairman happy today, because when I filed to run for delegate, I made my post. I made my post, and It says, it's official. I, Kristopher H. Bilbrey, filed the proper paperwork to appear on the Republican ballot during the upcoming 2026 primary election on Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. I am running to win one of 5 Republican delegate positions in Delaware County's 3rd district. There are 3 delegate districts in Delaware County. They are divided up the same as the 3 Delaware County Commissioners' districts. District 1 has 18 delegate positions. District 2 has 5 delegate positions. And District 3 has 5 delegate positions. If you've noticed, there seems to be some kind of a balance issue there. There's 18 in District 1, 5 and 5. That seems a little off. We'll talk about that in a moment. There are a total of 28 delegates from Delaware County who will go to the Indiana State Republican Convention. The convention this year will be held on June 19th and June 20th. If you're a Republican voter in Delaware County's Commissioner/Delegate District 3, I would appreciate your support and your vote on Tuesday, May 5th, 2026, or before, if you vote early. Sorry, I was looking at that thing that Dave said. It'll be challenged very soon. The challenge period does not start until 12:01 on Friday the 6th, and that period will then run from 12:01 Friday the 6th until the next filing period, the next week, so the filing period will begin on Friday the 6th and run until Friday the 13th. So that'll be fun. That'll be amazing. I said if you're a Republican voter in Delaware County's Commissioner District 3, I would appreciate your support and your vote. That would be badass. So I would love it. Help me with that. We will see what goes on. Okay. So now moving on to the state. There's a couple things that's going on. I was in the process of preparing those documents. The requests reference the deal with the city of Muncie and Tim Overton and Mayor Ridenour. I want to know if Tim was lying, if there are businesses that left because they said, the council meetings are too disorderly. If that's the case, the citizens deserve to know what businesses left and why. Why did they leave? I do not believe it was because citizens were asking questions. I simply cannot believe that. Crazy. So I was preparing all of this last night, and Kate and I were talking about a couple of different things. We were talking about J.D. Prescott, okay? And we got to talking about different bills that are being looked at the State House, specifically bills as they affect like Delaware County and East Central Indiana, but all of Indiana's 92 counties. And there's something very interesting. And it's scary, it's crazy, it's wrong, it's bad, and we need to be very, very outspoken against this. We need to let J.D. Prescott and his cohorts know that this is not something that should happen. We want to kill this before committee, in committee, before it ever gets a chance to get to the floor. It's not something that we want to support. It's not something that we want JD to have any kind of momentum on, and we definitely want to make this go away. And what I'm referring to is House Bill 1288. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. JD Prescott has put forward House Bill 1288, and I'm pulling it up here on the Indiana General Assembly website. I'm going to share this with you here so you guys can see this and see, what is this? Get rid of that. Whoops. Here we go. So we all know how we feel about Senate Bill 1 and what Braun did last year and what Micah Beckwith did last year and all of the chaos surrounding it, and what our local officials did with it, what they didn't do with it, just all of the chaos, okay? Well, then this year, boy genius, boy blunder, JD Prescott authors a bill. Okay, it's the same bill as last year, basically. It is the same bill as last year. House Bill 1288 focuses on local government finance. And what this House bill does is abolishes the assessment of tangible property after December 31st, 2026, and the imposition of property taxes after December 31st, 2027. Provides that a political subdivision may not issue any new bonds, notes, or warrants, or enter into any leases or obligations to be paid from property tax revenue, or that include a pledge to levy property tax if other funds are insufficient. Provides that no property tax increment financing district or allocation area may be established, amended, or renewed, and no bonds, leases, or other obligations may be issued, entered into, or extended for a property tax increment financing district or allocation area. Provides that a school corporation may impose an annual fee to replace the loss of revenue previously collected by the school corporation from the imposition of an operating referendum tax levy or school safety referendum tax levy. This prescribes procedures for fixing and reviewing of political subdivisions' budgets, prohibits the imposition of new levies for controlled projects, operating referenda, and school safety referenda, abolishes the offices of county assessor and township assessor, extends the sales and use tax application to transactions involving services except for healthcare or mental health services, including insurance premiums for policies covering these services and services provided for charitable tax-exempt purposes, establishes the local revenue sharing fund into which revenue from the portion of revenue from the extended sales and use sale is to be deposited, requires that the state comptroller to distribute taxing units the portion of all the state sales and use tax revenue attributable to services from the fund, continually appropriates money from the fund, requires that the Legislative Service Agency to prepare legislation for introduction in the 2027 regular session of the General Assembly to make appropriate required changes in statute, makes corresponding changes. So, ladies and gentlemen, What this is bullshit. Okay? This is not making things better. This is taking one screwed up situation and replacing it with one screwed up situation. It's nonsensical what he's wanting to do. For the love of God, JD did not come up with this. JD did not. It's so frustrating, man. JD is pushing shit that he just truly doesn't understand. And I would like to think that this is not going anywhere. But stranger things have happened. And we just need to contact every representative that there is, every state representative, and tell them, look, I don't know what Prescott's doing, but if you're in a committee where this gets heard, kill it. If it gets out of committee, for the love of God, let's hope it doesn't. Do whatever has to be done to make this thing go away, because this is going to be detrimental to individuals. I just like that he put out that statement that we read the other day, that I read just, I think yesterday, and I called him a liar, and talking about how he's like keeping taxes low and helping. It's so crazy. It sounds like Micah talking. This is, I'm sure, something between Micah's people, JD's people, their network of people. It's all the same people. Okay. And Kate, I know are you in the middle of something? Do you want to come up here and hate on this for a minute? I mean, you've got some really good thoughts on this. If you just want to come up and talk ill of the bill.
Ill of the bill.
Yeah. We're going to, here coming up really soon, I'm going to reach out to Brandon. We need to get Brandon to come back on. I know he's in whatever mode he's in, where he's doing all this crazy shit, but he is still part of the show. We need to get him to come on, and we need to do
because he's
bill bashing.
Yeah, this one's just terrifying. So you get rid of property taxes, and we're going to replace it with a tax on all services. Doesn't matter what you're having done. If you
get a haircut, call a plumber out,
taxed.
Take my dog to the vet.
I believe that would be taxed, because that's not technically medical.
That's not medical. Okay. Pre-plan a funeral.
Oh, that's definitely taxed.
Buy a car.
That's the funeral itself. Now the services provided by it's not just the funeral costs. Now all that's going to be taxed too.
Buy a house.
The realtor will have to charge, if they charge for services, like an hourly rate or something like that, or listing rates or whatever. That'll get taxed.
Okay.
Anything where you pay someone to do it for you.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that everyone's aware of what we're talking about. Everything.
Everything.
And
so say you pay $1,000 a year as your property tax bill. Mm-hmm. Do you think you're going to pay more taxes? Paying the tax on services?
Yes. A lot more.
Attorney's fees will be taxed.
Yep. Yes.
Planning your will. Doing a POA.
This is really
having your taxes done. Now it's not just the fee for the taxes. Now it's the tax on it too. Everything. You will end up paying more.
It will be a lot
taxes.
more. It'll be a lot more.
It'll just be spread out over the year instead of twice.
Twice.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like one of those things like what you know, when they talk about this with guns a lot. What is it? Buy once, cry once type of thing. And that's kind of how it is with property tax. You know, you do it twice and it's like, okay, this you're just always paying. It's just pay. You will not stop paying. You will be born, you will pay, you will die. And when you do, there'll be a bunch of services on all of that. You know,
and then all of that service tax money.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, when you pay your property taxes, who do you write the check to, Kristopher?
The office.
Yeah, who would you write the check to for your property taxes?
It's the treasurer's office.
Yeah, in your county, right?
And your county treasurer's office, so like Delaware County or Randolph County,
right up to the county,
to your local county,
and I pay it right to them.
Yeah.
All that revenue, because a lot of this bill is language about how the money will be dispersed. All of that service tax revenue doesn't go to the county.
No.
It goes to the state.
Goes right to the state.
And the state controller's office now will have to add people to their staff to disperse that money. So how can counties have any idea of what their revenue is until they get their chunk of change from the state?
Yeah.
That, and if a lot of people are like, I'm not paying taxes to have my lawn mowed.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
I'll just fucking mow it myself.
Yeah.
So how many businesses, small businesses, are going to go out of business because of this?
Yeah.
That provide small services that make a big difference for a lot of people.
Yes.
But people are like, I'm not paying the taxes on it. I'll do it my damn self.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen,
I hope I'm not paying a tax to get my hair dyed. I'll go to the store, buy the box, bring it home, and dye it my damn self.
Well, and so this is what we were talking last year when this was put forward. There was a way around this. If you wanted to be tricky, if you wanted to really think about it and do things, you could fight this. And that way was to create an LLC and function that way.
But I guess they watched the show because I mentioned that I would help people create an LLC.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy because I didn't hear anyone else talking about this anywhere. But then we talked about it on here. You specifically mentioned that. Not only did you mention that you would do it with the LLC, you would get that, you would do that, but that we would help people figure out how to create that, to figure out ways around this. And what did they do this year? What's different?
Well,
what's the one thing that's different? That's not in there.
I didn't see in there. Was that it was not included this year. So if you are having anything done, you will pay, whether you're a business getting service from another business, or whether you're a person. Everybody's going to pay this.
Yeah. Not from the mind of JD, but JD's pushing this forward. JD's pushing this forward.
And it gets even worse though, Kristopher.
Yeah.
Because this school nonsense is horrible.
Yeah. Provides that a school corporation may impose an annual fee to replace the loss of revenue previously collected by school corporation from the imposition of an operating referendum tax levy or school safety referendum levy.
Do we want to put that in normal people speak?
Well, yeah. So what that means is your school that you're sending your children off to, along with their textbook fees, along with you having to buy clothes for the little monsters, terrorists that you have as children,
and the club fees,
and everything that you pay for school. Now there's going to be a fee that they hit you with, which will only increase and increase. And it's going to be insane.
Well, what are those fees these new ones supposed to cover, though?
Well, I'm assuming that what they're saying that the new fees will cover is like they'll be covering any kind of. I assume it'd be covering capital projects inside the building. It'll be covering, just major funds within the school.
Okay. And if the school has taken out any kind of loan to build a new building, tear down a building and build a new building, add an addition, if you've voted to do a levy for the school, which just means we voted so they could take out a loan against our property tax revenue.
Yeah, right there. Right there's the school language. Go ahead and talk about it.
Okay. Oh, you're so nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
So you've taken out this loan for $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 20-year loan, and our property tax revenue our property tax bill has gone up 0.1%, $10 a year, whatever it is. Everybody pays $10 a year addition on their property tax bill to pay off this bond. Okay. Now it's just the parents. You have a kid in that school. Now that $5 million or whatever's left of that loan will be paid off by parents sending their kids to school. So you might end up with $1,000 fee for your kid to go to public school.
Yeah. Yes.
Completely insane.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, my kids don't go to the public school here.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with paying $10, $20 a year on my property tax bill to help educate all the kids in this county.
Right.
But how many parents can afford $1,000 a year per kid to go to public school?
Yeah, per kid.
Per kid.
Per kid.
Some families, $100 is too much.
How many kids you have in school?
I have 2 in public school and 1 in college right now.
Okay, but 2 years ago.
2 years ago would have been 3 of them.
Yeah.
3 kids.
Yeah.
How do you do that? And then if the school needs operating funds or something like that, then that's how they're going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to add a new fee.
Yeah.
So what do you see happening to schools around the state? I can't afford to send my kid to school anymore.
Yeah.
Because I'm almost paying Ball State tuition.
Yeah, right.
To send my kid to elementary school?
To elementary school.
You, I'll homeschool.
Yeah.
Oh, and since I'm homeschooling, now I have someone in my house who can mow my fucking lawn so I don't have to pay taxes for
it. Yes, I love it. I'm glad, and I wanted you to come on and talk about that because I knew that you would have a lot to say about that, and people needed to understand. This is something that we need to let them know. This needs to not get off the ground.
Yeah. It needs to be stopped.
We need to kill this where it is.
Immediately.
Meaning the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, right.
Now, I am not threatening anyone's life.
Yeah,
but the
yeah,
bill
yes, no, I get it.
destroyed.
Yes. We'll get
The
Brandon
bill
on and we'll talk about this.
Because I'm
all
sure
the bills.
Brando will have a whole lot of fun stuff to say about this one. And that's just from a cursory look at this thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
now, before you
into it,
yeah,
enrolling K-12, online homeschooling. Yeah,
well,
because those online schools,
mm-hmm.
guess what they don't have? They don't have a whole lot in the way of operating funds.
Yeah, right.
That they need for building upkeep and things like that.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
so I can see a lot of schools closing down and a lot of teachers losing their jobs over this too.
Sure.
JD is out to destroy our public school system.
He's got some kind of massive hard-on war against teachers. And I think it's because he was an idiot and school was hard for him and he hated school apparently. Like he just had a rough time in school. Definitely the last couple of years he was there.
I heard that he got by on his name.
But yeah, basically, yes.
Is what I have heard. Now, I don't have any evidence of that, but that's what I have heard from people.
JD Prescott, look, his whole existence is proof of that.
Yeah, I'm paying a gas tax, which he helped increase too. There,
right.
Right. So, yeah, I'm still paying a tax and I paid sales tax to buy the mower.
Yeah, so, right.
But I would rather only be taxed twice instead of 3 times to have that mower taken care of,
Yes.
The lawn mowed.
Well, before you go away.
The whole thing is ridiculous. Oh, before I go away?
Before you go away, because we were talking about more bills than just this. And just when we thought we had heard it all, I want people to get a load of this. We now, in the year of our Lord 2026 to 2026, have an Indiana General Assembly legislator that goes by the name of Robert Morris. He's from up near Fort Wayne. He's Republican in District 84. Who's drafted a bill that if this bill were to pass, it would put him possibly and other Indiana General Assembly legislators in a position to kill Hoosiers. You heard me right. I mean, to actually take the lives of Indiana Hoosiers. That's right. House Bill 1287. Remember, we were just talking about
all the way, baby.
Yeah, right. We were just talking about 1288. This is just one step down from there. This is 1287. So this will be easy for people to remember. 1287. And this is House Bill 1287, execution of death sentence. Okay. And it was authored, as I stated, by Robert Morris, Republican District 84, co-authored by Representatives Chris Judy, Republican District 83, and Mark Genda, Republican District 41. And we'll show you all of this. It says the following. House Bill 1287 requires the warden of the State Bureau of Prisons to select an execution team. And the execution team, ladies and gentlemen, will consist of members of the General Assembly. You heard that right. Members of the General Assembly, the State House legislators, the representatives, the state senators, okay, who have volunteered to serve on the execution team. House Bill 1287 prohibits a person who is not a member of the General Assembly from serving on an execution team, and it provides that the execution may not be carried out until the execution team is fully staffed. House Bill 1287 specifies that the name of a member of the General Assembly who volunteers to serve on the team is public record. And now listen, it's not trained special emergency response team members, CERT team members from the State Bureau of Prisons, not specialized trained law enforcement officers, but members of the Indiana General Assembly. Some fucking idiot like Representative J.D. Prescott, who doesn't even know which end of the gun to hold or how to strap on or a holster, how to work even a holster, or maybe Representative Sue Arrington, who probably couldn't lift the rifle if she needed to. Or what about drunk Senator Michael Bohachik? What about Bohachik, who's drunk and waddling up to the rifle? Okay. Or what about the madman himself, Representative Jim Lucas, who flashed a gun at some kids in the State House, and he's also drunk and doesn't seem all there. Or what about crotchety old Representative Ed Soliday? Or what about 900-year-old Senator Sue Glick? What in the actual hell are Republicans Robert Morris, Chris Judy, and Mark Jinded thinking? This year it's the death penalty, but wait until next year when this, we'll talk about this part here in a minute. This ignorant group of ragtag anti-hero heroes push the bill that lets them take out anyone who disagrees. So all joking aside, this is ignorant. I support capital punishment when needed. I'm even okay with the firing squad, although I've never understood why we wouldn't use the much more cost-effective method of having a medical team administer a fatal dose of a narcotic such as morphine, hydromorphone, or fentanyl, hanging, electric chair, death by 1,000 cuts, anything other than the elected state representatives or senators shooting at prisoners. Just totally insane. This is really, really crazy.
Well, I think the point of it was that it was supposed to be insane because this guy is like anti-death penalty.
Yeah.
He has put forward bills to repeal it in the past.
Sure.
So
absolutely.
He's just making it so ridiculous and saying if you support capital punishment, you should be willing to be behind the weapon.
And that's really crazy. That's like saying you can't have an opinion on elected officials unless you run. That's complete horseshit.
You can't have an opinion regarding, the military unless you're willing.
Unless you serve. Okay, this is nuts. I'm supportive of capital punishment if and when capital punishment is needed and when it fits. Okay. And I think that it needs to be taken serious. And I think that all ends need to be met and looked at. Okay. Now, I had some people that got on here and went crazy on me and was like, look, he's just taking the piss. Well, first of all, is this what we want?
Taking the piss by putting forward a bill like this?
Yeah.
Some of these idiots could be excited about this.
Right. That's what Kate and I talked about is like, what about some of these people who would love? Yeah. Yeah.
You might be taking the piss, but you put forward a bill that could end up getting passed. God forbid. I think, and I get the point he's trying to make, but there are some insane bastards in that state house. It could pass.
That, or to me,
the third part.
Yeah, right. Or I mean, to me, this is like the tenderloin.
Take the piss.
Yeah, right. Right. Well, this is like the tenderloin. This is like Harry Hooiser. Like, we have more important shit to be doing than what?
And the sugar cream
pie. Oh, yes,
sugar
cream pie.
Pie.
Yes,
and
yes.
Popcorn being our official state snack.
I feel like there's more important things to be working on than all of this crap together. It's almost like they were all high and sitting around and thinking about food and Harry Hooiser and killing people. Like, it's really crazy. The whole idea of these people, it's just they're not serious. It's nuts, man. It's really crazy. Operation Chinese Star. Yeah, we had to deal with the Chinese stars. I can't remember whether it was like they could have 5 points or 6 points.
The Senate's also got a bill regarding the death penalty.
Yeah, and it's a normal.
That's a clean bill. It just says it adds firing squad as a method of execution if they can't get a hold of the drugs for lethal injection. And that was an issue in the past couple of years where they were having a hard time getting it, or it was too expensive.
Or if the person requests it.
So, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward thing, and says that the warden needs to figure out how they're going to make it happen. But that one's a pretty straightforward bill. So I don't know that it's trying to stonewall. I really think he's trying to take the piss out on these people and saying, you support this, so are you willing to pull the damn trigger? But they wasted time and money writing it and putting it forward.
Yes.
And God help us if these people are too stupid to realize that he's taking the piss out.
Yeah.
Take it seriously and think that it's a good idea.
Absolutely crazy. It's just, dude, these people are insane. So I wanted to talk about those, let you hear some of the chaos and the craziness. And then I want to say this. And I'll give my now. Yeah, thank you, Kate. I'll give my little mea culpa here. So last night, this is kind of a partial mea culpa. Last night, I was talking to Kate. I'm just real fed up by these people. You're just real fed up by all this insanity. And so last night, I was writing this out, and I said, I was putting this forward, and I that little speech I read, that's part of my post I made. And when I got down to the part where I said, this year it's the death penalty, but wait until next year when it's this ignorant group of ragtag anti-heroes pushing a bill that lets them take out anyone who disagrees. This year it's the death penalty, but wait until next year when this ignorant group of ragtag anti-heroes pushes a bill that lets them take out anyone who disagrees. Well, sometime later than I posted it, earlier in the day, I went in and I edited the post and I made it say ignorant. Because when I first wrote the post, I wrote was, and now everybody get ready to stone me or shoot me. I guess it's execution style. What I originally said was, this year it's the death penalty, but wait until next year when this special ed group of ragtag anti-heroes pushes a bill that lets them take out anyone who disagrees. And, look, I'm a child of the 80s, 90s, and, that's just something that was said. You rode on the short bus. People from time to time use the R word, and that's just what it was. And so I said special ed, and that, of course, I forgot that it's 2026 and that everybody gets, their panties in a wad. And so people went crazy and it was like, oh, you shouldn't have said special ed, blah, 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 blah. Get out of here. I changed it as to not offend anybody, whatever. I'm willing to do that. There's a lot of times I'm not willing to it's like, when Sullivan wanted the Doors to change the lyrics to their song. We couldn't get much higher, and Morrison's like, I'm not going to do it. And they're like, well, the Stones, changed lyrics, and he's like, then he told him he would do it, but he ended up not doing it, and it was a big deal. There's a lot of my lyrics and my content that if you don't like it, that's just tough shit. You don't like it. I'm not going out of my way trying to hurt people here. So it hurt people, and there were people that I respected that contacted me, and I apologized, and I changed it because I'm not trying to hurt people. What we say, what I say to you, or what I say when I'm talking, that is whatever. But in this situation, I wanted the point to be sold more than to have a stupid joke in about these people being on a short bus or whatever. And I'm not trying to offend any children or people dealing with something nonsensical. I just wanted to say that, wanted to put that out there, wanted to get that out there. I did change it. I changed it. And I put ignorant in there, and that changes it as well. I mean, it fits them as well. So whatever, I was okay with that. But sometimes we got to remember we're living in 2026, and people have absolute meltdowns over words. So yeah, that's right, Karen. I didn't even say retarded. And again, like it's kind of coming back, right or wrong, not agreeing one way or another. And I try my best not to say it, not to use the retarded word, the R word, but it is what it is. Stumble. So just crazy what these state officials are doing. I'll tell you what it is. It's really, really crazy that all of these people can do all of this stupid shit and still keep getting elected time after time after time again. So that's it. Hey, before we go, I made mention last night about a run-in with the mayor, and I noticed I mentioned it, but I didn't get to it. And a couple different people reached out to me today and was like, "Hey, you didn't say anything about the mayor." And I was like, I completely forgot about it. But on Saturday, I was going to Staples to get some material that I needed, some pens and things, and I was on the phone, and as I was walking in, you ever get that feeling that someone is staring at you? And I don't mean like just like they're looking at you, but I mean staring a hole through you. I got that feeling and I keep my head on a swivel monitor, but I'll tell you what, the shoes I was wearing didn't have were like not flip-flops, but like house shoes, and I didn't have socks, and I got a rock inside my shoe on my left side, and I was like trying to get it out, doing the little flip-flop thing, and I noticed, I'm like, man, somebody's staring at me, and I looked up, and it was the mayor. The mayor was looking directly at me, and I'm on the phone, and the mayor's looking at me, and I know what's going to happen. So I switch the phone out of my right hand into my left hand. And I tell the person I'm talking to, hold on a moment. And the mayor and I are sitting there staring at each other. We're now like 10 feet from one another. And this is like jilted ex-lovers. Like, I'm like, oh my God, there he is. That's truly him. And he's like, oh my God, that's Bilbrey. There he is. And we had to close the gap. We were going to walk past each other, but then all of a sudden when we both caught each other's eyes, then it changed. We were no longer walking from the store to the car, from my car to the store. We were now walking right towards one another, and we got within arm's reach. We both reach out our hands for a handshake, and we like hit our hands, and we pull our hands back. We both kind of went, whoo, giggled a little bit. I was going up, and he was going down, and I was going in, and he was going out, and we just didn't know where to put our hands. we didn't know where to look. You know, it was very, very exhilarating, I guess. You know, yes, that's see that I couldn't remember what you told me to say, Kate. I was trying to work it out through my brain. Kate said it's like the encounter was like seeing the ex-love of your life, that, you know, I've seen you naked, but I don't like you type of thing. Okay. And so Dan and I are like doing this thing, like, and we're both kind of making noises. And then it just basically ended with a handshake. And he's like, Mr. Bilbrey. And I'm like, Mayor. And then we like, so how's the weather? How's your dog? Is your dog still alive? How's your parents? Your parents doing well? Yeah, you know. Oh, you've still got that old Chevy Nova, you know, that has the crack in the seat. And we're like, yeah, it was just really weird. And I was like, so, you know, tell me about the eagle's nest, and brushed the hair out of my face like this, you know, kind of did this. And I was like, the eagle's nest? And he's like, yeah, it's doing well. And that was that. And I was like, well, okay, you know, enjoy the day. And he's like, yeah, you too. And we like just walked away from each other. And I got about 2 steps from the door. And you know what I did? I turned around to see if he was looking at me. And he was. I turned around and he looked at me and I looked at him. And while it'll never be between him and I again, we know that we had something special when we had something. And even for just a few seconds at Staples, we had it again on Saturday. And I screamed out, I love you. I said, quit fucking up, you idiot. That's what I screamed out. So it was you want to talk about a word that everybody hates. You really want to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah, it was really gay. It was really gay. And I mean gay in the sense of being gay. I mean gay in the sense of being stupid. It was every sense of gay. Happy. It was happy. It was gay. And it was stupid. It was all the gays. So, all right, folks, you guys have a good night. I'm glad we finally told that story. I meant to the other day, and then I didn't get it out. And then Kate's like, yeah, you got to tell it. So you tell your cat I said hi. He said, just one more trunk shrimp for old time's sake. Good night, folks. You guys have a wonderful evening. Now Jack's a voter. See, all I knew, we just had to get to the love story, and that would pull Jack in. You guys have a wonderful evening. God bless each and every one of you. We will be back here tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful tomorrow, and we will see you then. Good.